They don't know what the fuck they're doing.
First of all, don't tell me what to do.
I am ready.
سبحان خالق الإقبال.
That's right, infidels. The hack is back, and it's time to attack. You thought you could get into my account, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia's? You think so, my cousins? We'll see when it's heels over strong in Riyadh season, and Hameen returns for a big bag of comedy here on the Friday Locker Room with the hottest actor on the independent film scene, MSG. YOLO. Oh, what's good, guys? I try and get the pipes tuned up, get back in the saddle, man, and have a good Friday. Hopefully you guys are having a good week without me here at Hameen Media Group. I know the whole crowd was real interactive on the watch-alongs. They had a good time, so I'm glad to be back with, somebody I'm super proud of, bro. No, he goes out there and makes things happen, and he's willing to be the journeyman artist that it takes to make your dreams come true and reap the rewards. And when you're working on something as an artist, you never know how it's going to hit. And this latest project that Matt's been a part of and we've been able to help promote is just blowing up on the independent film scene and just won a major award. It's a major award. It's a film festival, which is no small feat, man, especially you can make it there, you can make it anywhere, and he's making it here today. I just wanted to let you know, Maddie, how proud I am of you. I've said it before, but this is just another great accolade based on being an artist and putting yourself out there, because you don't know, especially on film, what's going to hit and what's not. And congratulations to you and the entire cast and writers and directors of your latest piece, man. So, I know all of HMG's shining bright.
Well, I sincerely do appreciate that. That's very nice of you. I'm definitely excited to see what the movie looks like when it comes out, as I still haven't got to see the cut.
Yeah, seen the final cut.
No, so I don't even know what I'm gonna look like, how I'm gonna appear. So, but apparently it was good enough that they, like I said, recognized it to be the independent film of the year. Did I get nominated myself for award? Does it appear that I did? But that's okay. We'll let that go for now.
Like, hey, man, that's the next thing, right? Like, every bit is moving that ball forward down the field, man. And this is, I know you've had a tough year of kind of being in solitude on the East Coast while you're working at a great production job that you busted your ass for a decade to sharpen those skills to get that opportunity. And same with acting. And now you're, like reaping the benefits and rewards of all that hard work, labor, chop wood, carry water, 10,000 hour rule, and sometimes when you get there, there's still plenty of things that, you're not going to be fulfilled, I guess, in this life as any artist ever really fully fulfilled. And that's really what drives us to keep going and making new things and being creative in our journey. So here you are, man. And I just was really pumped to see that while I was on vacation. Really made me happy.
Well, I'm glad that brought a smile to your face, Ben. Now, tell us, how was your vacation? Did you want to come back?
Yeah, I mean, I miss the Dogs of War, so it's always like, it always draws you home. And plus Obazo Ben Chompin's about to be 17 in the next 2 weeks, so 3 weeks. So I'm pumped for him. So I just want to be around him. But I always love escaping with the wives for our anniversary in the end of September. And Jamaica is always a place I'm fond of. So it was great to get away, and just every day I was in crystal clear water, snorkeling. Dude, I was probably about 8 to 10 feet away from a barracuda, maybe 4 or 5 times. He was not full size. I've been near bigger ones on snorkeling expeditions, but this is right off the back of the resort. Stayed at the Rio Aquarel, which is a new resort in Falmouth, Jamaica. And beautiful room where we could look right down into the water, and you can see manta rays and stingrays kind of swim in the reef, and it was very cool just to sit there and enjoy a cocktail and a smoke, and just watch nature and really unwind. And then every day I was out there on that reef snorkeling, and it's just incredible. I like to feel insignificant and small, and to think the world that goes on underneath the ocean, just in what I was watching in the quarter mile that I would, kind of make laps in, to see that what's there, and then to look out over the vast ocean and go, what I just saw in this small area was amazing. What's really out there is unreal, and
Yeah.
we put so much value on ridiculous things that are in society and human nature and politics, and then all the while is a whole entire world that doesn't even know we exist on the fucking surface, aside from the garbage that we throw into their world. You know what I mean? So I like that feeling where I can try and lose my ego a little bit. You know what I mean? It reminds me of, like, you ain't shit. You think you're over,
Right.
you ain't over, dude. And a tiger shark can teach you that lesson real quick. But like face to face with a barracuda, they don't give a fuck. Like, every other fish in that reef is like, oh shit, what is this big thing? Let me get away. And like, you can kind of catch them for a minute or two and watch them operate in their ecosystem. But a barracuda sees you, and it turns and looks at you like a fucking pit bull that you stepped on their lawn. And you're like, oh, I'll get a little closer and it'll swim off. No, you get a little closer. The barracuda goes, oh, really, dog? And fucking comes 5 feet closer to you. And now, I mean, it was probably 36, 40 inches, which is, juvenile size. Like, some of the ones I've seen in Aruba were fucking real scary, and they were just on a mission zooming by. But this one was just hanging out in 4 feet of water where I was snorkeling, and I was like, oh shit. Like, it definitely, if it got into your arm, it wouldn't be a fun day. It wouldn't kill you, but it definitely could do some damage on you. So, but that's a cool thing, man, when you're kind of in their world, and you got to respect it for what it is and back off and go the other way. And that a fish will let you fucking know that. It was funny to see his attitude. So, or hers, I don't know. I don't want to misgender the barracuda.
Oh boy. Not in 2025. You'll get canceled for that.
Yeah. Won't be allowed back in the ocean. But the water was absolutely beautiful. The entertainment is always great at Ryu, and I don't know. It's a little bit too commercial for my taste now. Like, we had a great time. The food is always incredible there. The spa service and all that shit to unwind. I worked my ass off every day in the gym because I didn't want to go off the Caesar program and too hard, without trying to burn calories. So swimming and working out and just catching some sun, man, and trying not to overindulge too much.
I know everybody's going on vacations. I'm like, fuck, I need a vacation. Shit.
Yeah, you do, man. It really does. Just that break and to really let go for 6 days is I'm very thankful for it. For my partners at Ravens Joint to cover for me, for you guys to cover at HMG, and to be able to get away, because sometimes I get way too, me, I'm a business addict. So I've got 2 other ventures in the pipeline now, and my mind, I just don't know how to turn it off sometimes. And that's what I really have to do. And one of the first times I didn't take my laptop, even though I did the Russo brand shows on my phone. I mean, I'm always down to hang with Vince and Stevie anytime I can, but I don't know, man. I'm just trying to turn some corners myself as a executive, a CEO, and as a human being, to let myself know none of this shit really matters at the end of the day,
Right. Well, from the island of Jamaica, where you were relaxing, all the way back here onto the land, and you get to talk some pro wrestling news. Man, I know how excited you are.
Yeah. Well, and I got trolled a lot this week by some people who I thought were diehard HMGers. I don't know, like I say, I try not to insult any fans who spend their money with us, especially, or I try and talk as real as they expect it to be, because that's what makes our value. You know, I'm not here to do ass kiss shows. But like I have to remind myself that sometimes wrestling is a moth to a fucking flame as the way it attracts retards. And fucking some of them just don't have the mental capacity to understand what they're saying to somebody, because everyone's so accessible via social media and they think that they're over and protected, right, and they can talk to me on an equal level when it comes to the aesthetics of wrestling. I don't say I'm above anybody else, where, like I just said, we're all fucking nothing's floating on a rock in space. But you know, this week was a strange week, and I just attribute it to stimulus that is going on in America, the world, everywhere, and people are just having their own breakdown. And most of the time when it's trolls like that, it's people who probably can't even deal with society on a good day, let alone what they're doing that day. And again, they don't know me and I don't know them, so why would I really let that affect me? But some people live their life through that and they do let it affect them. But I just see this week a strange breakdown, even in-house, of some people being very abrasive, and that's fine. Like, it doesn't hurt me at all. It was just interesting.
And like, are you talking like on X, Twitter? People have been saying stuff
on X, on HMG, Facebook, even, really, to be honest with you. And I was just like, that's interesting. Where I do want any feedback like that, I was like, must have sparked a nerve, or was like, I guess one of my hangups is sometimes my friendships run hot, and I've had friends just kind of, I've talked about this, just disappear out of my life that I thought would be there forever. And I always try and look and overanalyze my part in the relationship and see why, in the Sopranos episode, Amor Fu, a fiery love burns bright, and then that it burns out, right? So yeah. I feel like sometimes there's a little bit of that in my personal relationships. And like I said, I don't know any of these people personally, but is that another thing that carries over? Is just kind of my study of myself and my own psychology, because I carried a lot of that baggage from two of my friends, one from OVW and one from fucking college. Your mom goes to college, and Improv Olympics. So it's when I see it happening with people I thought were supporters for a decade now, almost, you know, it makes me just self-reflect a little bit. You know.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry that we've got some abrasive individuals who are in the hobby meeting. Y'all need to calm the fuck down.
No, you're not hurting my feelings. If you need to get your vitriol out, that's what Ben Hameen is for, is to fucking be the PTSD pressure release, you know, when they count 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, kick out, I'm sorry, and bury the ref. And
yeah. All right, well, let's get into some headlines here. Triple H and Steve McMahon met with U.S. President Donald Trump this week at the White House. President Donald Trump signed.
That was actually one of the things that somebody came back on when I made a little snarky comment on that. But go ahead, please.
Yeah, so President Donald Trump signed in some executive orders. Stephanie addressed reporters about an order involving the use of AI to improve childhood cancer treatments, highlighting WWE's connection to Connor, a young man who battled cancer. She said that kids shouldn't even know what cancer is, let alone have to face it, and this incredible team believes that too. This executive order makes kids with cancer the first focus of AI innovation across healthcare in America. If there's one thing in the world that could bring us together, please let it be our children, because I can almost guarantee if your child was diagnosed with cancer, you wouldn't care what party your doctor belonged to. You would just want the best. And President Trump is doing just that, enabling every child with cancer gets the best care possible. And we couldn't be more grateful. And then I guess you got some backlash. What was what did you get online?
I don't know. The searchers can fucking, it was one of those, you fucking sit behind a keyboard, you never made shit, you don't fucking know what you're talking. I'm just like, okay, like, you want my resume and I'll run down who, like, just like, dude, somebody's having a meltdown. That's not for me to like have to justify who I am off of my opinion on something. But let's go back in time. When Trump first got in and I saw the McMahons there, I go, they don't know what they've done. They don't realize the fucking vampires they just let in the back door that are going to get their claws into this fucking country at a very high level with Trump and start to cement themselves as a American royal family and forward facing that everything's fine. Meanwhile, they're doing simulated rapes and sexual assaults in their own fucking top floor. You know what I mean? And payola and 19 sex scandals. And we're still allowing these people who are attached to this to now do face front of child cancer research, and you want to dip into like, and everyone's like, they got Connor's cure all the way there. Yeah, great. There's a lot of kids who will benefit from the light shining on that. Now let's go back to the Connor's cure original story and how it happened and what the McMahons did and how they took it and made, at the time, on the Noble Edge effect, that charity was going to be your marketing in the forefront. And the story behind how Connor's cure came to WWE is very wrestling. Oh, that's a good story, but it's not good for you. I forget the announcer's name. Forgive me. That
Justin Roberts.
Justin Roberts. I wanted to say Josh Matthews, but that's not it. And the fallout from that, and now he was kind of pushed out and pushed down. And when he was the key figure in that, it was a genuine, like, from the heart, let's use our charity and our power to highlight Connor. And then he's pushed out, and Stephanie McMahon is put in there as the big baby face of the company to be the one that, you know, is gonna get this out there in all the promos. And now here we are 5-6 years later, and it's in the White House, and we're using this as our vehicle to get there. And dude, when you let the fucking sharks in the locker room, they're gonna eat. And when you see Triple H and Steph, how many throats have they cut? How many fucking bodies have they buried for Vince McMahon? How the corporate takeovers, the lies, the ring on and off, the NDAs, the alleged NXTs, you know, there's a lot there that is salacious, and they want to play this game that they're one thing in front of the camera, but I would not let those people anywhere near. I mean, I want to say what, like, the democracy itself of being tied to it, like it's supposed to look one way. And it's easy to say that, but every politician tied to it is a fucking APAC money taker. And you come in with $200,000 and you leave with 400 million, right? Like, so the American dream of what democracy is and should be is a sham in itself. So of course these carnies are going to come in and make it even more than what it shouldn't be. So with Trump there and all those ties of being a fight promoter, and now we're going to have UFC on the front lawn, this is where we are in the idiocracy, bro. And once the McMahons got their hands in there, got their foot in the door, whether it was through Linda or Trump, be it in WrestleMania and having the Vince connection, and then from small business to Secretary of Education, and Triple H and Steph are sitting in the back. You can go back to past shows, and I go, they fucked up. They let them in, and now they will never get out. Whether it's one of the boys of Declan Rogan and Kenyon marrying in, or one of the girls, getting in as an intern into somebody's fucking senator's office. The McMahons are now in there, and look at the track record. Look at what they've done. And now that's going to be happening even more. And I said, these politicians don't understand who they just let in. The politicians are dirty, corrupt, and brutal. And the McMahons will make that look like child's play. you know, in what they've done. People don't understand wrestling locker room politics compared to regular politics, because in wrestling politics, you're cutting throats so you can go out later in the show in your underwear and have a guy lay on you for more money. That's what you're doing it in wrestling for. In fucking global geopolitics, it's to overthrow countries and overtake Venezuelan oil supplies. It's a little bit different stakes, you know, but the swords they have are already razor sharp coming into that, and everyone's going to go, you know, who's a 30 to 50 something. I don't watch wrestling now, but I used to watch when Hogan and all, and then like the McMahon's got to stand there and go, oh yeah, he was great. We miss him, and do all that lip service at the fucking Washington D.C. parties. Dude, Triple H, you versus, I can get Flair to come here. Yeah, we'll have Flair. Like, it's gonna be all that bullshit, bro, that they got to go through, but they will worm their way into the American fabric, and we will be worse off for it. I don't know if that was too much of a yarn spinning or not. Were you able to follow that or not?
No, I get what you were saying. The McMahons have got their claws into the U.S. administration.
I'm gonna inject cancer into the White House.
Connor's cure. Yeah, and they're
right. I'm gonna do the opposite. I'm gonna ride cancer into the White House and act like I'm here to help, but really it's a Trojan horse for us to get deeper into the system. That's the truth of what you saw there. Not, we care about all the kids so much. Nope, not that. You just let a fucking crew of assassins ride in on the back of a 501c that is for kids cancer, and they have no idea, because they're great workers and they'll be very front facing and gimmicks out and games in the back with a water bottle ready for memes and shit. It's just really the truth of who they are and what they're doing. But again, they'll be haters. What the fuck did you ever do?
Well, I think it's for certain I'm probably never getting hired at TKO.
Yeah.
While you were gone, did you see what was going on with Gail Kim online?
I know there was a lot of back and forth, and it was based off of the stuff with Tiffy's later, right? Like, or some shit.
So I'll give you the breakdown. So basically, Gail Kim criticized the presentation of AEW wrestler, sparking online debate about drawing like a response from Kenny Omega. Basically,
Rio. That's what I meant, not Tiffy. Sorry.
Basically, she felt Rio was dressed like a little girl, specifically referencing a frilly skirt, which she considered improper. And she said the camera work felt inappropriate, claiming the shots would go up her skirt. She also stated it was difficult for her to find Rio's matches believable due to her small stature against larger opponents in the division. Kim contrasted this with other smaller, more athletic-looking wrestlers such as Io Shirai and Asuka, who she found more credible. And there was some backlash. I'm just reading this, by the way. She said the key element of the online drama came when Kim mentioned that her comments were made in the context of backing wrestling personality Jim Cornette, who has a history of criticizing Rio. And then the wrestling fan base responded with strong reactions, with some defending Rio's athleticism and style. Critics argued Kim's comments were insensitive and reinforced harmful stereotypes, especially since both Kim and Rio are of Asian descent.
Got to take it to race. We got to take it, right? Like, that's just right where that fan base fucking lives, in the fucking bruise touching victim race card fake outrage, as opposed to a woman who's been in this business for 25 years and done it at the highest levels, and Rio, who absolutely is a tape trader, masturbator, pseudo schoolgirl fantasy panty sniffer, Japanese fucking vending machine level, talent. But because Kenny Omega wanted to put her over when she was a little kid, now she gets a shot here and gets to work 50-50, even though she's less than 100 pounds. It's just more of this Japanese fucking make-believe bullshit wrestling. And Gail Kim don't do that. Gail Kim goes out there and works real style the way it should be. If she's facing Awesome Kong, or if she's facing one of the beautiful people who are sexy, she's going to be the fucking, technician in that, so that, yeah, her criticism of Rio has nothing to do with race, has everything to do with presenting women as pedophilic looking schoolgirls for an audience that is team never touched a titty and fucking is at home watching manga and all that other shit, because that's how sexually deprived they are. So of course we're going to do upskirt shots and camel toe shots and fucking, because the match is meaningless and probably rotten as fuck based on psychology and this stupid Japanese style that is a flavor of ice cream that nobody wants at Baskin Robbins. Nobody wants the wasabi ice cream. So fucking what Gail Kim is saying is based fundamentally on the choices that they're making for their audience. And then when they got called out on it, erase card, boop. Don't you dare call me out on my shortcomings and pedophile intrigue. Right? Because that's what she's saying. If you're in, and they're doing the same thing in WWE with women who shouldn't be doing it. They marched out fucking Trish Stratus looking like an anime schoolgirl in her late 40s. I'm going, what? Dude, make her a boss, a high-powered executive lady, boss bitch, and fucking go that way. Instead, they're trying to be powder puff girls at age 50. For who? For who, dude? Like, no man is into that going, yeah, that's what I want. That's what I want my fucking MILF to look like, a 14-year-old. Like, it's just like they're absolutely doing it for the smallest segment of weirdos at home who are going to be 40, 50-year-old virgins, So they're the first ones to line up. They probably got 2 or 3 real dolls in the fucking closet, one with their head chopped off just for their Dahmer fantasies. It's that's who that shit is for. It's not for wrestling fans. It's not believable. It's not for Rio. It doesn't get her over to who she should be. And when it comes to tits and ass and showing crotch and all that, welcome to the entertainment biz, Briz. That's my only kind of throwback to the Gail Kim side of where she's saying it. But you wrap the women's revolution in this empowerment thing, the women who walked on Washington with pussy hats on, and then in the same breath you're wearing ass cutter shorts and you're doing TikToks to wet ass pussy. Which way do you want it? Do you want the respect of I can do the job of a man and I can go out here and wrestle and do the psychology the right way and don't sexualize me? Or do you want to be treated like a whore? Like, you have to choose one of those two roads. You can't have it both ways and expect people to respect your opinion and integrity on any topic because you're talking out of both sides of your mouth once you do that.
To wrap up this, Kenny Omega responded by saying another day and another legend doing the splits on the yearly TKO gift basket. This went back and forth between Gail Kim and other fans. Eventually, somebody came out and said Gail Kim was looking to get a job at AEW, and Kim issued a response, said that I don't know you, but this is a perfect example of someone lying and having zero integrity. At least when I say what I say, I'm saying what I feel and I'm truthful and will defend myself with facts. She went on to say the real news about what happened with AEW, since people will lie, as I was saving this for interviews, but oh well, it's now out. I got one text from AEW when I was terminated from TNA. It was from Sonjay inquiring about whether I wanted to wrestle. And I said, I'm retired. End of story.
Yeah, that's fine. But this is where wrestling ego is ridiculous. Because what we laid out here is nothing untrue of how society is in judging women and what women want for other women, and then to raise each other up. But then they tear each other down. Kamala Harris, 0, electoral votes pretty much, right? Like 0% chance of winning. And after they run the whole women empowerment bit, You know, so this is easy for Gail Kim to be on AEW, but they won't swallow their pride now that you've insulted Kenny Omega's protege. You're buried, right? Like, she'll never get a job there. Like, I doubt she's worrying about it. But this is where they're stupid. The internet is buzzing. You've got heat. You've got people talking about something that is shoot. In where now we can blur the lines of reality, bring her in and let her be that empowered voice that says to Rio, I want you to stop wearing these things because these fans are mentally not well. And what they are taking from you is not your wrestling. They are taking home sexually graphic images in their mind and fantasies. And is that what you want to be for these people, Rio? No. Right? And so listen to me from now on, and we're going to make sure you want to be a star. You're going to do it the right way because I see in you a lot of ability, but you got to stop catering and then let Gail Kim go heat on the cameraman and the production people and stop saying that you're going to use these women as sexual objects because they're here to wrestle and earn respect. What's wrong with that storyline? But wrestling heat and ego and perception on Twitter and the IWC and Don Stevens going to run tell that will fucking hold up all of that instead of going, we got real heat here. We could bring in a veteran who could really help teach these girls and help teach our audience to stop being perverted fucking idiots who attack Rhea Ripley and rub their crotches on her at the Uber stand.
Yeah.
Like it's all right here teed up for you. But now we got to go, well, her husband lied about who he was a chef for. And like, now we're tearing each other down and all this shit. When Gail Kim, den mother, locker room den mother, is the storyline. Saying, yeah, we've been doing that. We've been a little pervy and, you know, and taking some onus for it. Instead, they'll never touch it. And what should be raising women up, there's a whole other crop that goes, we don't need wrestling. We're making enough money on OnlyFans. We'll see how that turns out. We'll see how that all turns out for you. Made all the money going from TV to, you know, jamming your clam on OnlyFans, and you made a fuck ton, but your integrity in 5 years and what half of those women who are doing that now making money, what will they be doing in 5 years? Some will be in rehab. Some will be drinking and driving and possibly doing homicides on the highway. This will not end in a way where the girls triumph by going, I got my box out and I'm super happy about all my decisions. My husband really supports my OnlyFans. Yeah, sure he does. He definitely supports you disrespecting your relationships and your marriage. So some fucking toads at home who don't shower but once a month can fucking jack off all day to your wife. Wow. What an epic marriage you guys must have.
What an epic marriage.
You know, I think they should lead into this with Gail Kim fully, bro. Like, and that's what my last part of that rant there was the girls who are gone from WWE who are doing exactly that and acting like we don't need them. Like, I'm going to go masturbate on camera and make money just to show them that I don't need them. Oh, you won. You won.
Did you call them clam jammers? Is that what you said? That's good. Clam jammers. Sticking with AEW, I found this story to be interesting as a master control operator. Hangman Adam Page expresses dissatisfaction over ice commercials airing during AEW Dynamite. Following the October 1st, 2025 edition of AEW Dynamite, world champion Hangman Adam Page voiced dissatisfaction on Blue Sky about recruitment commercials for the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, airing multiple times during the broadcast. Page wrote, "Fuck ICE airing commercials during Dynamite. Let him know," and urged fans to submit complaints via direct links to TBS and Warner Brothers Discovery feedback.
Mm-hmm.
So I find this interesting because as someone who works as a master control operator, I ran some of these ICE commercials during certain events, and I see how much these companies pay to run this commercial break. So, Ben, it seems a little hypocritical of a wrestler on TV where commercials are the primary source of why that content is there to push the audience to then go say, we don't want the money from this.
Is he giving his portion of what the breakdown is back out of his check?
Probably not.
Well, then shut the fuck up. Whether it's, and again, this speaks to the liberal, ridiculous locker room that's over there and who their fan base is. When a guy who's calling himself cowboy is being the cowboy from fucking the Village People, maybe like cowboys are chop wood, carry water motherfuckers, right? Like,
Yep.
not this. How dare ICE run a commercial? Like, if you feel that way and you want to get it over, you're in a top spot to call what you want storyline wise and go sit down and craft something along with Brody King, who's obviously passionate about this topic, because we need white saviors to fucking make sure that the fucking message gets out there, right? Like the ridiculousness of it all. And put your money where your mouth is, back the Mexicans on the fucking roster and come up with an ICE storyline and have MAGA characters. No, we're not going to have MAGA characters on our show. This is how you do it. This is how you pay off the heat and show through art what society should be if you're passionate about it. Don't just bitch and say, write an email to get ICE commercials taken off. Guess who's paying for ICE commercials? You are, through your taxes. So twice you're taking the check and you're paying for them while telling people call in and tell them that. And meanwhile, your show's getting kicked around from platform to platform. Do you think that's a smart look for what you're trying to do? No. The only place you can really send the message is to tell the story of deportation, of fascism, of threats against it. But you're more worried about wearing butterfly fucking jeans and frilly jackets instead of coming up with a captivating storyline where ICE is the heel and the fucking everyman and the white man and the Mexican man and the Asian man and the black man come together to go against and fight the power that be, and fucking overcome. Instead, you're just going to cunt off and send out some tweets, bro. When you have an entire platform as a top guy in the company to tell a true piece of theater, but instead, buckshot lariat, duck one, give me a spine buster. Okay.
And you would think they would need to do something, right, as far as from a content standpoint, because what they're putting out there right now is not generating new fans. It's not generating controversy. It's not generating water cooler talk. So
Yeah.
why wouldn't you lean into something like that that's relevant pop culture wise? I mean, that'd be like telling the creators of South Park, yeah, no, we're not going to do pop culture stuff this time.
No, yeah, dude. Why would
We're just
you?
going to do something we've been doing for 5-10 years, and everyone.
Yeah, we're going to do another Cartman fart show, and then, but at the end, we're going to have a heartfelt message to contact your local cable provider because we don't trust ICE. Like, you are on a TV show with damn near carte blanche, and the boss is also very much into these social equity type, things in life with his audience. And if you want to appeal to that audience, you have an opportunity to get heat. Who is going to step up and go, you know what? I'm Big Boss Man year 2000 with the fucking gear on. I know this because I fucking played a Saudi a mastermind of terror to pay off 9/11 heat for the last 20 fucking years. So I kind of might have a little perspective on saying, okay, I know what triggers them. And do I always go over? Well, in this case, yeah, because now the Saudis own wrestling. So Ben Hameen does win in the end in my storyline. However, I've had my shoulders pinned at the almost every storyline that I've ever told where I got heat along the way and paid it off. I don't go over. If the evil guy doesn't go over and just fucking walk off into the sunset going, yay, evil, I lose. And the crowd fucking loves it because I've gotten all of this emotion out of them that was already underneath the surface. And I just needed to fucking be the release valve on that.
Right.
And this is the opportunity to do that. But instead, you're making PSAs that are going to hurt the network, the product, and possibly your spot on the show. What happens when somebody goes, dude, calls Tony Khan from Paramount or Warner Brothers or HBO Max or wherever they are this week and goes, what the fuck is this I'm seeing from my interns who are telling me that a wrestler is telling people to stop taking money from our advertisers?
Right.
Tony, this guy, I want this guy fired tomorrow. And he could be gone based on that, instead of being smart and using his platform to tell an epic story that is in real time, and he gets to dictate how the finish should be, so the baby faces come together and support democracy, overcome fascism, whatever it is you want at the end of the day. That shit is insane to me, and it almost not pisses me off, as it's wrestling. These guys have gotten these spots and they have no idea how to capitalize on them.
Why are you thinking with too much logic, though, Ben? You're asking wrestling to have
Oh,
logic.
you know what you ever do? What you fucking ever do?
It just baffles me that the content is right there to make. They've got such a huge platform. TV shows can lean into it, whether they be dramas or comedies or mysteries or thrillers. Movies, TV shows, they'll lean into this kind of content and make it. But for whatever reason, professional wrestling seems to stay away from it.
Except for on the internet.
Except for the internet.
they're willing to comment it on all day when it fucking, because they can't get off fucking Twitter and TikTok and every other thing and have their opinion for to go viral. But it goes against everything that they're doing. They won't even touch it in their stupid storyline. It's the vehicle for it, and it's embarrassing because Del Close said the work can handle anything if you approach it with the proper respect. So I can say wild shit. You could say Charlie Kirk shit on the show if you broach it properly. You know what I mean? Like you can talk about assassinations without saying his name and infer things that mess with people's minds and put a little bit of poison in the water, and they don't want that. And that's what that they're going to turn it on Fox News. They're going to turn it on MSNBC. They're going to turn it on CNN, but we're not going to turn it on in our well, this is where we escape. What, you escape to watch fucking chicks dressed like 12-year-old schoolgirls? That's your escape? No. We're going to tell. This is the only place where we have the opportunity to tell the story and pay it off the right way. That's how the fucking Cold War ended, with Hulk Hogan, Nikolai Volkov, and the Iron Sheik. Guess who didn't go over? Russia and Iran under, after all the heat. But dude, that's where there's a whole generation of people playing wrestler and don't really even understand what they have in the palm of their hand to be able to leave a legacy. Could you imagine that? Like, the only thing I can name Hangman Page has done is, well, two things. Got over because he was part of the Cool Kids Japan crew with Bullet Club and jumped on that like Cody did. He's probably got a big hammer on him. They made fucking big dick jokes about him on Beat the Elite. And that was enough to make him part of the Cool Kids to fucking do the Bullet Club never got over bit that started AEW, right? The second thing is this thing with Swerve Scott where he fucking burns down his house or whatever, right? and where he's in the baby crib. That was them, right? It was Hangman and Swerve.
I got the chair on the porch.
You burned down my house. Let's have a wrestling match. Okay. They don't get it. They got in with the Cool Kids. They can work and they are great athletes, but they really don't understand what a story is, how it goes to their character, and what reactions should be from actions. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Burn down my house. I'm going to give you a buckshot lariat. Okay. All right. All right. Just complete asinine. And now I'm supposed to, you can't even do that right. Well, let me hear your geopolitical views and support you. When really, at the end of the day, it could be Hangman Page led a coalition of like-minded people from across the races and across the worlds and across the country to battle tyranny and come together and defeat fascism. That's what you see yourself as a hero, but you're doing nothing to set that up when you have the platform to do it.
Yeah, when you can come out on TV and cut a promo.
That's what's infuriating.
Yeah.
Not just coming out with a anti-abortion shirt on like Punk or anti-ICE like Brody King. And the reality is, like, this shouldn't be led by the great white knight. This should be the empowerment of Latin culture,
which AEW is keen on.
rife with.
Yeah.
But of course, just like any anti-Trump, anti-ICE thing, who is it on the side of the roads? All fucking old white people cunting off about fucking Latinos being deported, bro. Because Latinos are in the underground hiding. Let's play that game. And who's going to be your heel to step up and be your MAGA? Took our jobs. I'm tired of these fucking Mexicans around here. I'm tired of these fucking Asians around here. Like, you know, like who's going to step up to be that character?
I don't know. Who is? Sticking with geopolitical climate, WWE changes the name of the NXT versus TNA Invasion show following backlash from Israel. During the 2025 No Mercy PLE, WWE NXT General Manager Ava announced the NXT vs. TNA Wrestling Invasion show for October 7th, and an editorial from the IsraelHayam.com criticized the event name by saying, quote, "The choice of the name in this date, a date when Israel commemorates the memory of the massacre from October 7, 2023, is viewed as extreme insensitivity. The term invasion on such a sensitive date, which directly recalls the infiltration of Hamas terrorists into the southern communities and mass killings of Israel's Americans, raises questions about who is in the organization responsible for this preposterous decision. So, during the September 30th, 2025 edition of NXT, it was confirmed that the show has been changed from Invasion to Showdown. Santino Marella even said the following in his promo, "This is not an invasion. We've been working together wonderfully for months now. This is more of an NXT and TNA showcase. No, a showdown." Thoughts on WWE catering to Israel.com website and changing the name from Invasion to Showdown and having Santino Marella kind of go out there and look like an idiot?
We got Jews in the house.
Yeah, this is the fucking insane asinine world we live in, where top Jews run TKO, and I'm sure they took heat from Hiram Abiff at the fucking mosque. And then I don't know why Santino's got to be the one stumping for this when he's an Italian guy. Like, you know, as El Duce, as neutral as it is, and one of the nicest guys ever in the biz, to have to put that out there and like, don't say invasion. This is the Jews having their reach into media and can now change words. Like, no one was thinking October 7th invasion when they saw this.
No,
If anything, they're thinking the WCW invasion.
right.
So this is more like change the language. Like, now there was no fire to be put out, and you just lit one and poured gas on it. Like, what? And we're like-minded, and we don't want to offend anybody. You have to offend people. That is heat. That is what we're here for, and that is what sells tickets and pays shit off. If they're pissed about something, do an invasion. But guess what? Not Hamas or whoever, but whoever is that role gets their ass kicked. You try to invade, but the wall is too strong. The ice wall could not be fucking overcome. They don't understand that. They just want to stop something, and then it makes people have even more resentment against them and go, can you say anything around these people? Arabs or Jews that isn't fucking going to get your head cut off or your fucking cell phone to exploding next to your crotch? Like, what the fuck is wrong with all of you? Because then anything after that, you're like, well, I see why the historic fucking reasons are, because you still don't stop with the bullshit. It must not have been lies. You know, like your actions are making me look the other way instead of unifying and understanding. And no, we didn't do that. We didn't do that. And of course you did that. You know, so it's insane. The victimhood, the bruise touching, and what the responses will be that are absolutely, no, we didn't say that word. We meant this word instead. That is 1984 double speak, news speak, just rewriting history on the fly because somebody higher up was offended by the word invasion because it crossed with the media psyop that they're trying to pull off at the same time. That's the truth of what it is. But if you fucking put that out there, like, you know, you can't have that in wrestling, you know. What did the boys do at that point? Go out and wrestle, and it's ridiculous. Everything we were kind of working for of a two-brand collision in wrestling is now geopolitically tied to Gaza.
Yeah.
What the fuck, bro? Like, but you're not, it wasn't tied. They tied it to it for no reason whatsoever. Nobody was even thinking about that when October 7th shit. And they're pissed off about that. But Ari Emanuel, who reps all these people, is doing a deal with Saudi Arabia to send American comics there while crazy shit is going on. People can still be executed for low-level drug offenses, sexual preferences, and slavery while they build these crazy buildings and hold on to people's passports. But, you know, Bill Burr, everybody.
Kevin Hart, Dave Chappelle.
It's unfucking real, bro. And that's a top-level Jewish guy who apparently, I'm not saying this comes from Ari Emanuel, but it's in that upper-level clique where the shit runs downhill from some synagogue through the media, through all the way down to wrestling choices. The top Jewish guy is fucking selling his product to the Saudis, who have countless indiscretions going on, plus the last 25 years of like, what are we doing? At the same time, the people he represents are pissed about the Palestinian thing even being referred or inferred. So those Arab traders, yeah, we're fine to deal with them because they got $1 trillion. These Arab traders, starve them out and get me all the American influencers to come over here and do videos of, see, we're not holding food back. There's pallets and pallets of food out here. Then that was 2 weeks ago. This week, fucking rabbis are going, why would we feed these people? Their children are going to be the next terrorists. Their children can starve too. Saying it on camera. But the American influencers you had there 2 weeks ago, that's all propaganda that they're starving them out. Dude, no, nobody is innocent in any of this shit. And everything they say out of one side of their mouth, they're doing the exact opposite in the reality of it all. But wrestling, don't say invasion. Oh, 1984, I'm going to mind control you. Can we fucking go?
It is definitely concerning that this is now bled over into a professional wrestling setting where you can't.
They don't know how to stay small on their stuff. The work, like, maybe we do need the McMahons in the fucking White House, because the way they try and put their works together in this global UN level shit is not good. Like in wanting to get done and put out the false messages that they want. When they put the message out, it's done so badly that you know the exact opposite of what they're trying to say is true, making them guilty of what they're trying to absolve themselves of. They're terrible workers, bro. Terrible. And when people catch up to them, we just do another event to fucking have people talking about that and get the eyes off of this over here. It's crazy. Some questions. I saw Frank's Pickle Barrel asked in the chat this morning, and hello to everybody in the chat. I know we're doing a lot of catching up, Rant and Raven. Hopefully you're enjoying the Friday Locker Room. Big news, 2 CW shows have been booked the 21st and 22nd of November. So that means I'm dieting and working my ass off twice as hard. Yeah, questions of, is it child friendly? There's probably going to be some naughty words, but there may be one match with usually color to some degree, or you never know what's going to happen if Jade Cargill shows up. That could be, and I don't want to say that everything's going to be fine if you wanted to bring Schmoopy or whoever, but usually it's pretty cool time. Though there will definitely be like shut the fuck up chants and you fucked up and adult language. It's a ECW show, so like that same feeling of original ECW. So it's kind of to each their own. I know she's seen a lot of wrestling, but at the same time, it's not as family friendly as Immortal, but we don't do deathmatch shit and all that stuff either, So you never know. It's going to be loaded with surprises and talent, and not just Stephanie McMahon going into Hall of Fame level surprises.
Right.
But yeah, already Eddie Edwards is the first announcement of top tier talent that'll be coming back, and always a good time with Eddie and the Wolves. But he's had some great runs in 2CW as champion, and always awesome to see him as well, dude. So there'll be more announcements, but it's coming up quick, man. I mean, we're 7 weeks out from 2CW reunion shows in Watertown, New York. I know one's booked for Watertown. I think they both maybe, because we're working with a guy who's a promoter, has a lot of radio contacts, and actually wants 2CW shows in another state. So I'm like, yeah, I probably shouldn't be stooging that. I won't say which state.
Connecticut, let's go Connecticut. I don't have to drive.
That'd be a lot easier shot than the state he's talking about.
Oh, boy.
So yeah, man. But the 21st and 22nd, if you were gonna schedule a weekend to take off and get your Airbnb and come to Raven's Joint and do all that would be, it's gonna be an awesome time. I know. Older, fatter, balder. Yeah, we all kind of are. That's what we named it, and put generic catchphrase name here is, I think, the other show. That's what we're calling it. But it'll be great to see everybody again, and not hopefully take too bad of bumps. But it's going to be what wrestling needs. And I don't know, this a spark. Everyone's like, are they coming back? Are they coming back? And I don't know. Yeah, it takes a lot, especially with me and Josh and Strangler Steve working his ass off to get the event booked and everything along those lines, and kid trades as well. Jack trades Justin Parker, his son, and and Chris Lovin. So the Brain Trust is back together, and everyone's kind of trying to not overplay their hand right. of what they want to do. And, we'll see where it goes, and the magic will be there because it's 2CW and our fans are just crazy as shit compared to any other fan base out there. Like AEW is a watered down version of what the 2CW fan base is.
Well, Bobo, if you're listening and you want to go, you want to carpool, let me know. This time you can drive. I'll pay for the hotel. Let me know. Because I don't really want to drive this time. Last drive was a little long.
Yeah, dude. It's always a shot. That's for sure.
And
Watertown is near nothing. So.
Yeah. I did have one more story for you here. I didn't know if you got to see it. Did you get a chance to watch the SmackDown match last week between Tiffany Stratton, Nia Jax, and Jade Cargill?
I broke it down with, I just saw the lowlights, I guess is what you could call it. But on Russo Brand, we talked about it pretty in depth.
Okay. Well, did you see Booker T's comments on it? So Booker T on his radio show said the following: you could tell there was a lot of miscommunication. You've got an NIL talent, Tiffany Stratton. You've got Jade Cargill, who's pretty much fresh off her AEW run, and just think about that time in AEW for her. She probably didn't even learn a whole lot, because no disrespect or anything, but she was just put on a wing, and she never really got a chance to wrestle anybody. Then you got Nia Jax, who's been there, of course, is going to feel like, I need to quarterback this thing. I just feel like I know more than these girls. It could have been a plethora of things, but you could tell there was a lot of miscommunication. One thing about matches like that, the only thing they're going to remember is the finish. You got to get everybody to the point where the finish can happen and it goes off without a hitch. And it didn't happen. That didn't happen in this match. Was it a botch? Heck yeah, it was a botch. Was it a miscommunication? Was it a screw up? Whatever term you want to put on it, yes, it was. But one thing I do feel about that kind of stuff that can happen on live television, if I went to go and see Hamilton and they were going home and the guy slipped on his butt and forgot his lines, I think I would probably be pretty upset too. They went out there. It wasn't a good night. It wasn't a good night at all. interesting that Booker T, who is a commentator for NXT, will go on his radio show and be as honest as he was, Ben.
Yeah, I got to give him mad respect, and obviously, you know, that's the kind of men they are, him and his brother. Like, a huge respect for Stevie Ray too, because he goes out there and gives no fucks about wrestling, comeback, or, you know, they're in the Hall of Fame. What's he gonna do? Those are men's men, and I respect that Booker gave his Hall of Fame veteran honest opinion on his show, as opposed to, you know, making his wife the co-host and and towing the line, right? So that is exactly what happened. I kind of laid that out of what could possibly go wrong now when you have talent that has been fast-tracked through different programs and because of their look or their character ability, and then you get them on the main roster and they're woefully unprepared for that level. You know, Tiffy busted her teeth out. Tiffy went into business for herself, talking shit to Charlotte Flair. You know, like, Nia's hurt people because of her size and how the lack of size on other people and caring. Jade is green as grass, even though she looks like a superhuman, like an experiment. All those things, when you get them all out on the tightrope together, the holes in their game that they've been covering up could form a giant black hole and everyone gets sucked into it. And that's what happened here. And the referee, I don't think she's a bad ref. I've watched her stuff, you know, since she's kind of come onto the scene on the main roster, because I think she was a worker and they told her, there's just not going to be a spot for you. Do you want to go be a ref, or do you want to, you know, this is as far as we go? And she took the referee spot. I haven't seen her make a lot of errors before, but they're in her ear. She's trying to be in the moment. You don't know if Tiffy and the rest of them are talking to her, what there was supposed to be a pull spot or a save spot there. Plus, she's trying to count to 3. And if somebody misses a cue and she's waiting to be part of that scene and then doesn't count 3 and goes, oh, I'm fucked. That's you get 1 second there to be the person that all the heat's on, you know? But really, if they're in her ear giving finish changes, she's trying to talk. How can she be in the moment 1, 2, 3? And why are you talking to her while she's counting 3? If that's the way it was. But the heat's going to be on her, because that's what a ref is there to do. So if you do 1, 2, nobody kicks out and you fucking pull it and it's right on camera, there's not a lot to defend you on there, you know? And then here comes the internet with DEI hire and fucking women's evolution revolution. And yeah, they lie. It's wrestling. The girls are not prepared. They don't know who they are character-wise. Tiffany Stratton was a Barbie girl, Beverly Hills bitch in NXT, and because she was sexy and probably was with the right dude that helped bring her up to the main roster, they fucking go, nope, she's a babyface. What? People want to live vicariously through daddy's girl who lives in Beverly Hills, and we're going to put her over as a baby? None of her wrestling makes sense then. Of how she should be working as a heel. So out of the gate, we've made a huge mistake, but can't say that to the people in gorilla position. Like, you're going from NXT as a top heel, but you're a baby as soon as you come to the main roster with no change whatsoever in the style, because we've drilled that style at NXT into her head, because that's all she knows, because she doesn't know how to work, call matches, if something goes awry, how to fix it, when to grab a hold. It's spot after spot after spot, no sell, spot, till your teeth get knocked out. Okay. Or your fucking eyebrow gets split wide open with 20 stitches in it. Okay. Like, you keep going down that road instead of learning how to work and putting the wrong people on TV. Both those girls who are green can become great workers, but you've got them in the spot to learn on the fly. Well, when you do that, you're going to see the holes in their game as they learn, and it's going to be business exposing bad, and it's going to tear down their stock price, because you put them in the deep end of the pool with no water wings, with nobody there to fucking come in and help save it, you know? So you can get all the Shawn Michaels kisses and hugs and hats that you want. Then the bell rings. And if you don't know how to fucking walk somebody over to the step to give them a big fucking turnbuckle on the steps so they can put their hands down and take their own bump instead of you shoot fucking throwing them. And she doesn't even have her own hands up to know to cover her own face, leads with her eyebrow into the fucking steps. Everybody's stupid. Everybody is at fault there. You're not even taking care. We're out there to take care of each other. Slinging somebody into the fucking steps like that is not taking care of them and not giving a shit. So, yeah, it looked like amateur hour because it was, but because they're wrestling on a Slim Jim logo in a WWE ring to the marks, they're the fucking best that ever did it, and you don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Well, if you want the full breakdown, guys, patreon.com/RussoTWC. You can check out the Raw and SmackDown review with Ben Hameen, Stevie Richards, and Vince Russo. Ben Hameen live from Jamaica or wherever you recorded it from.
I did, right from the hotel room. So my sound's a little bit raw and loud, but
follow-up questions I had about 2CW. Someone asked, Scott Woodford asked in the chat, is this show going to be live streamed, Ben? Do you know if it's going to be pay-per-view?
Yeah, free-for-view. I mean, we have way better technology now than we did when we did it in 2015. And Josh said no at first, but I think with who we know, like this guy, Jonathan Ash, who was a 2CW referee for many years and took over a lot of technical responsibilities when 2CW ended for Excite Wrestling, which a lot of guys from Binghamton that were 2CW guys, that's their indie there. And he built these as technology kind of demassified and became more compact, this portable streaming service. And I know he does or did, I'm not sure now, a lot of the GCW pay-per-views, and like indies were bringing him in and his crew to do live streams for that independent wrestling channel that's got everybody's stuff up there, that Immortal's on. So I'm not sure if Ash is going to ref. I'm sure he'll be there. He's a 2CW brother original. So, but he's got all that now, and that's where his bread and butter is made. So he knows it. So for Josh to not capitalize on that would be strange. But then Josh also has reasons why he doesn't want to do things for like the punk rockness of it all, to keep it kayfabe, to put it out afterwards as opposed to live. But those are conversations that will happen in the weed vault at Ravens joint, where I will politic for it one way, or not politic, but I'll just put out why we should do it versus why we shouldn't.
And then my next follow-up question is there going to be, what kind of Hami Media Group presence are we going to get here at 2CW?
Yeah, I would love to see you guys there, man. Like,
whether that be like a podcast row or something.
Yeah, I was thinking about that as well. It depends. I'm working on something. I don't have. This week will be big for kind of me to shape up like what my role is as, because Strangler Steve's been working hard remotely with the radio promoter to get the buildings locked down and get the prices right, and Josh just went to AEW as a guest and talked to some people and trying to get it, because 7 weeks not a long time to lock down top tier talent. You know what I mean? Right. So, but he also talks to fucking Nick Jackson every other day, so it's not like it's the end all be all of like, oh, can we get it done? And like one phone call can get it done. It's who can we make a big announcement? Right. Who's got the big Annie? You know what I mean? And I think almost every week between now and then is going to be a big Annie for 2CW, and some big Annies will be announced in the middle of the show when they walk out. So I'm excited. You never know. And I'm trying not to get married to anything until kind of the week before, because card's subject to change. Because you start booking some guys, word's going to spread. Other guys will fucking go, hey, is there a spot for me? I want to work. Yeah. Like, so, and what is 2CW? Sure. It's your down home upstate, or really your Northeast New York, Pennsylvania indie, but its legacy and its moments that workers want to be on those shows, not just there for the check, because 2CW is dream booking matches you never thought you'd saw from people who are future endeavored, currently on a roster that lets them work, indie stars. What's the business that brings them all together, and that's
Right.
where we, as that, brain trust, all kind of kick in our creative into the blender, and out comes something usually pretty magical because we respect each other's opinions, whether it's Josh, Striz, Kid Trades, Jack Trades, rest in peace, Chris Lovins, myself, or any of the referee guys or anybody like that busted their ass for 2CW and has a little bit of their own spice they want to put in the mix. Josh is very cool with that.
Well, I will say if you do end up doing some sort of in-ring segment where you make an appearance, I'm throwing my name in the hat to be one of your flag bearers, one of your guys that's out there holding the flag.
Hey, you better be careful, because that means usually I'm going to escape and you're going to be left there to take something
That's fine.
devastatingly
I'll take
big
I'll
and
do
fucking get killed. So I
ready to
have plenty
do
of
it.
bump dummies, no doubt. But I'm excited for it. I really thought it was going to be in December,
Yeah.
and if not December, WrestleMania week. But now, it depends on the fans and how Josh feels afterwards. And I suspect everything will go remarkably well. Like something will go to bullshit and somebody will miss a flight, but whatever. We'll find a fun, creative way around that. But now with WrestleMania and Riyadh season, and we've been talking about, Comic-Con or WrestleCon with Tony Khan leading the way, 2CW could very well be a crown jewel in the American indie WrestleMania week, depending on what's going to go down. And this could kind of start that snowball rolling down the mountain. And by the time we get to April, who knows what could be going on,
Right.
So I'm excited about that prospect of where things could go. But my biggest thing will be to rib Josh this week, because he's like, I'm doing one show. We're doing one show. I go, you're going to do two. You're going to do two. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. One night. I go to my vault mistress, Danielle, go right on the board, the date, and say, we're only doing one show. It stayed on the whiteboard for about 3 months and now 2 nights. So he's gonna hate that I rib him on that. But it's the magic, and even though I'm retired, I'm obviously 2CW forever. So happy to do my part. And right now, the Saudis have a big part of wrestling, so my promo should be pretty fucking easy to come out and just declare total victory, So, but yeah, let at 2CW Wrestling on Twitter and 2CW on Facebook. So make sure you go subscribe and get the updates there first, because Josh usually posts them on Facebook first, so you'll be the first to know and event updates and get interactive with it. And now's the time to start putting out the dream matches and talent that you would love to come see, that because ears are open, things are happening in the next 2 weeks, and right now the fans have an opportunity to be a big voice in that, and we want to give our fans some surprises that they would love, you know what I mean, as opposed to going, we dictate and you're gonna fucking. Nah, dude, it's that's the true magic of 2CW, is that ECW, this is ours fan base. So if you want to bring the little ones, kind of be forewarned, because that fan base is usually drunk, stoned, and loud. And
Right.
so are the performers most of the time.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to do it for another edition of the Friday Locker Room. You can check out my podcast at South Park Pod on all podcast outlets. Brand new episode number 299 drops today. I'll have it out later today, as well as there should be a top 9 takeaway video from last week's brand new episode, Conflict of Interest. I should have that out here within the next 24 to 48 hours. And you can check out the trailer for the movie that I'm in, Modern Folklore. Type it in on YouTube, Modern Folklore, or use the hashtag Modern Folklore Movie on X or Facebook or Instagram, and it should come right up, and you should be able to get a link right to it. The movie comes out October the 17th, drops on Google, Amazon, Apple, and at Fandango at home. eventually it will also be on other streaming services as well. So check that out. Ben Hameen, what's going on with Ravens Joint?
Yeah, the joint did real well in September. So thank you, everybody. Even though we had a couple of holidays, we were right on metric and a little bit above. So excited, man, for that. And as we head into the holiday season, that was shockingly some of our best time last year. So I look forward to big sales. And the best cannabis in the biz, man, is the industry is ever growing. It's very, very cool to bring back 2CW. And a lot of that's because of Ravens Joint. So supporting Ravens Joint, if you guys are coming to check us out, is another great way. And hopefully we can get some of our cool t-shirts. I'll talk to Pro Wrestling Tees this week and see if we can get those up there as well. So they're kind of like 2CW adjacent merch. So
Right.
Excited about getting back to the vault tomorrow and seeing my staff and having a great Friday and Saturday. Again, Maddie, congratulations. You guys make sure you check out that movie. What was the title again? I forgive me.
Modern Folklore.
Modern Folklore. Absolutely want to support everything HMG Assassins got going on, and award-winning actor, I would say at this point. Now you can add that to your title, Maddie.
Cool.
But yeah, a lot, man. Thanks again for everybody filling in while I was in Jamaica relaxing. And it was a great time on Russo brand. I think Master Shoot was funny as well. So we're talking about the Vince McMahon busts that he gave away, and they were being hidden around the city. So we had a good time with that, man. But y'all, infidels, hackers back. We'll see which way things go in the next month, or if 3i comes crashing down and there is no 2CW pay-per-view, or maybe the final wrestling pay-per-view is the 2CW pay-per-view before we're all incinerated by space debris. Have a good week, everybody, here on the Friday Locker Room. YOLO.
We are in control now.